2K, I be kicking game. Bubblegum OG, I'm smoking on a different strain. Niggas still in South, they need to stay off in they lane. Baby, we on top and that ain't never gonna change. Put you boys to shame. Pull them boys out and put you boys to shame. Going hard on a bitch like Major Payne. Say my name, they ain't know how to spell it, so I put it on my chain.
Jump in the Pegasus, all kind of reckless, the necklace. All kind of reckless, I flexed it. Keep the change, yeah, you heard me correctly. If she sleek and foreign, call her Lexus. Every week of foreign, I just check a wish list. Only thing I'm here for is perplexing. Caterpillar whip, and I lowered it. All these hundreds got me sifting. G35 needs a lift kit. Man, dirty cup I'm gripping, I mean it's a pig pen. Leo chick within 5 feet of me, wouldn't risk it. Niggas cannot stop me, told them just to face it. Ashton sitting low, damn I scraped it. She like spread your wings cause it's the Pegasus. I'm like I might go and take the spot because of negligence. Oh, barricades ain't holding me. Money on me, but that ain't controlling me. Last night had bitches voguing me, like they go with me. Took off on these niggas, called a jet stream. Jump in the Pegasus, all kind of reckless, the necklace. All kind of reckless, I flexed it. Keep the change, yeah, you heard me correctly. If she sleek and
Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out here?
oh man, new hoe. Oh man, new hoe. Oh man, new hoe. Oh man, new hoe. Oh swag, new flow, oh swag, new flow, new flow, whole flow.
Yo, go mics.
New hoe, oh
Yo.
man, new flow, bad bitch, love the pole, sip for activate, sip slow, kick your shit, link, up here, come in here, got some hoes, they'll still, I need 2 hoes, need 2 pair, my chain too cold, chandelier, pretty boy, manicure, you need a code just to come in here, only 21, feel like a bachelor, pretty big, baddest thing in her, oh man, new hoe, oh man, new hoe, oh man, new hoe, oh man, new hoe, oh.
Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out here?
Oh man, new hoe. Oh man, new hoe. Oh man, new hoe. Oh man, new hoe. Oh swag. Oh man, new hoe. Oh man, new hoe. Oh man, new hoe. Oh man, new hoe. Oh swag, new flow, oh swag, new flow, new flow, oh flow, oh man, new hoe, oh man, new flow, bad bitch, love the pole, sip for activate, sip slow, kick your shit, link, up here, come in here, got some hoes, they'll still. I need 2 hoes, need 2 pair, my chain too cold, chandelier, pretty boy, manicure, you need a code just to come in here, only 21, feel like a bachelor, pretty big, baddest thing in her, oh man, new hoe, oh man, new hoe, oh man, new hoe, oh man, new hoe, oh. Damn, I feel myself, left my bitch at home, told her fuck it up, did it on my own, made it by myself, and I keep it tight, boy I keep the stuff, leave a nigga wet, boy I got the wealth, grab it off the shelf, she said she need the pill, spend it on myself. Got like 3 phones, apple not a pill. Got like 3 hoes. I do not come in the trap, we sellin' crack and milk. Mama shed it till the trap, cooking up the milk. Cookies in the shell. My diamond target up. Diamond microphone. Oh man, no hoe. Oh man, no hoe. Oh man, no hoe. Oh man, no hoe.
Friendly, last operator standing. 1 op 4 remaining. Op 4 eliminated.
Okay.
Hey, lately been on that fucking nigga shit. Take a nigga bitch and then I pass her to the click. I say, see me, I don't got no time for no bitch. I just get them for the bros, I'm just worried about them chips. I'm a shot call, little nigga, I'ma stay wild. Hot nigga, I belong in a dog pound. Shot call, little nigga, I'ma stay wild. Hot nigga, I belong in a dog pound. Fuck a bitch and then I put it in a bitch throw. Never give a bitch your phone, that's a no-no. Off tops, new chain in my wrist froze. Loaded up, still bouncing with that fofo. Fuck a bitch and then I put it in a bitch throw. Never give a bitch your phone, that's a no-no. Off tops, new chain in my wrist froze. Loaded up, still bouncing with that fofo. Stop it, niggas knowing that I drop shit. Get pop quick, cause them niggas that you rock with. Like Jay said, bitch, I gotta keep a chopstick. Big stick, I bounce out with that mop stick. These niggas talking, watch I pull up in that fucking Hemi. Total automatic, so I pass my little bro to send me. I'ma ride this little bitch till that tank empty. I'ma still blow that bitch till that clip empty. Bitch, I'm a P, bitch, I'm a G. Took that little bitch, now that bitch off the leash. Lately been on that fucking nigga shit. Take a nigga bitch and then I pass her to the click. I say, see me, I don't got no time for no bitch. I just get them for the bros, I'm just worried about them chips. I'm a shot call, little nigga, I'ma stay wild. Hot nigga, I belong in a dog pound. Shot call, little nigga, I'ma stay wild. Hot nigga, I belong in a dog pound.
5 seconds. Bomb located by op 4.
Up and running.
Metro be booming. The coupe is retarded. Louis my carpet. Don't gotta start it. I'm back on that bullshit. She bougie, she bossy. The top I done lost it. The Bentley don't cost shit. I walk out the bank rich. Okay, drink sipping, I ain't switching. I done brought my gang with me. Fresh out the freezer, my eyes dripping. Money coming in, my life different. Ooh, I might snatch that coupe. Ooh, yo bitch fuck, she cute. I put the gang on my chain too. They going outside, there's nothing new. They going out bad the same way. I put the cash on 3-way. Rich nigga drop a baby in the whole face. Where the hell was you at on the broke days? Ooh, yeah, I got the birds like Falcon. She can't get a bag, she pouting. I write up the money a mountain. The drip is water, a fountain. Streets on lock. All of my niggas still with the pot. No time for the pussy, just want the top. Was trapping the fish at the chicken spot. Ooh, trap game amazing. I plug a walk and they pay me. Got the bad bitches going crazy. Stir fry, I'ma whip up a baby. Came in the bit with the gang. Too many diamonds in my chain. Little bit wanna rain. Fuck her once, make her sing. Ooh, might pick up the phone, she got act right. Can't open the door, the coupe is retarded. He cannot afford it. The latest designer already done bought it. Gang with me. None of you niggas can hang with me. Cuban link cost $1.50. Told her money, bitch, you stuck with me. The coupe is retarded. Louis my carpet. Don't gotta start it. I'm back on that bullshit. She bougie, she bossy. The top I done lost it. The Bentley don't cost shit. I walk out the bank rich. Okay, drink sipping, I ain't switching. I done brought my gang with me. Fresh out the freezer, my eyes dripping. Money coming in, my life different. Ooh, I might snatch that coupe. Ooh, yo bitch fuck, she cute. I put the gang on my chain too. They going outside, there's nothing new.
Signature AP, Clarity HD, dripping in water links, burn your jet ski. Order a quarter piece, but do not text me. Big bag of Funya rings, they want the recipe. She got a bag on her, get her because of me. She fuck with the same plug, still with the OGs. Well, how about the new generation? How about the new elevation? What you gonna do when you make it? How about the lemon I skated? I brought the gang with me to the bank with me. Put that thing in sport, then I start the lane switching. Jump off the porch, then I start my gang business. Huncho and Rich the Kid plug, walking to the riches. You the type of nigga love talking to these bitches. Talking, I'm the type of nigga dripping faucet on these bitches. Faucet, give me my sis, I'm Tony Parker with these bitches. Tony.
The coupe is retarded. Louis my carpet. Don't gotta start it. I'm back on that bullshit. She bougie, she bossy. The top I done lost it. The Bentley don't cost shit. I walk out the bank rich. Okay, drinks. Yo, bitch, fuck she.
Get geek like I'm street. Stash money in the vase, like kids on no whiskers. Shoot 'em. Bullets, they.
No pump. Ooh, no pump.
Ooh, Lil Pump, ayy, ayy, moving in bricks, had a bound like ooh, moving in bricks, had a bound like ooh, diamond on my wrist ain't look like glue, diamond on my wrist ain't look like glue, walk in the club and I flex like ooh, walk in the club and I flex like ooh, mixing marshmallow all up my shoe, mixing marshmallow all up my shoe, pull up swerving in the coupe, 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 moving in bricks, had a bound like ooh, diamond on my wrist ain't look like glue, walk in the club and I flex like ooh, mixing marshmallow all up my shoe, medical bands in the kitchen, medical bands or the whipping. Nigga bitch go missing. Ooh, bitch I ball like a piston. Ooh, bitch I flex with flair. Damn, all they do is stare. Ooh, Lil Pump really don't care. No, total bit Lil Pump, yeah. Ooh, everybody know I'm up next. Yeah, everybody know I flex. Ooh, I run through these checks. Ooh, I flex on my air. Ooh, left 4 bands in the trap. Left 4 bands in the trap. Smoking all out pack. Ooh, smoking all out pack. Ooh, moving in bricks, had a bound like ooh. Moving in bricks, had a bound like ooh. Diamond on my wrist ain't look like glue. Diamond on my wrist ain't look like glue. Walk in the club and I flex like ooh. Walk in the club and I flex like ooh. Mixing marshmallow all up my shoe. Mixing marshmallow all up my shoe. Pull up swerving in the coupe. 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 Moving in bricks, had a bound like ooh. Diamond on wrist ain't look like glue. Walk in the club and I flex like ooh. Mixing marshmallow all up my shoe.
They're riding my brain, love. These hoes are sad. I admit it, another hoe got me finished. Broke my heart, oh no you didn't. Fuck sipping, I'ma down the whole bottle. Hard liquor, hard truth, can't swallow. Need a bartender, put me out my sorrow. Wake up the next day and the money color with a new woman. Tell me shit from Colorado and she love women. She'll be gone by tomorrow, who am I kidding? All this jealousy and agony that I sit in. I'm a jealous boy, really feel like John Lennon. I just want real love, guess it's been a minute. Pissed off from the way that I don't fit in. I don't fit in. Tell me what's the secret to love, I don't get it. Feel like I be running a race, I'm not winning. Ran into the devil today and she grinning. Hey, these girls are inside. All girls are the same. They're riding my brain, love. Think I need a change before I go insane, love. All girls are the same. They're riding my brain, love. Think I need
There's a blitz first floor.
before I go insane. 10 minutes, she told me it would take 10 minutes to break my heart. Oh no, she didn't. For living, I'ma drown in my sorrow. Forgiving, I'ma take, not borrow, and I'm still sinning. I'm still losing my mind, I know I've been tripping. I'm still wasting my time, all the time given. Am I dying, am I living? It's fuck feeling. Sorrow up to the ceiling.
15 seconds left.
Just trying to track the
10
camera.
seconds to go. One friendly operator remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Now I am insane. Demons in my brain.
Nice try.
Peace I cannot take.
You just stood right.
Cause all these girls the same. Now I am insane. Demons in my brain. Peace I cannot take.
Interrogation.
Friendly operator remaining.
Dude, he's so weak.
Bust down anklet on your feet. Some felt guilty when I cheat. I'm a little rip receipts, yeah. When shopping LV, I got snakeskin on my feet. Slimy snakes with me. I got millions in my reach. Lots of chicks, getting blacks every time that I release. Talking money, no speech impediment when I speak. Bank account, every time I log in, I'm relieved. Large amount, getting deposits on repeat. Your baby mama gave me top, she got the evidence on the knees. So she not a freak in a couple weeks, brought her up to speed. Molly made her crack, I spent $8 to fix my teeth. I'm a day old job, my dentist right next to LV. Every time I get dressed, my outfit is on the sea. Talking racks on the off day, my outfit cost 3. Lay everything out, I forget about jackets, I can't see. You counted me out when you could've counted these racks with me. Bust down anklet on your feet. Some felt guilty when I cheat. I'm a little rip receipts, yeah. When shopping LV, I got snakeskin on my feet. Slimy snakes with me. I got millions in my reach.
Big on racks, I started with hundreds, I used to dream. No more ice, got a bad habit, I just my green. Poltergeist, we in a ghost, we can't be seen. Jumping out, babe, she say she good, but she a demon. I just fell in love, I brought my baby to the Neiman's. If it's good, treat her like laundry and I leaving. Can't go back, that's one of my vices I'm repeating. She not yours, her heart unlocked if anyone's teasing.
Give me a new trend, she give me brain, she gone insane. Pocket blue hunts, I knew Smurfing, she was a babe. After trips, yeah, I can surf on any way, how many tips, yeah. But you saved as much as I made. Feeling froggy, wouldn't leave. Every Halloween I got trees. Fucking a bad hoe every week. I be off turkeys when I tweak. Maybe still, sleep with it still. But you can feel I'm making it real. How many times I play with scopes? X-ray vision, but not my goals.
Bust down anklet on your feet. Some felt guilty when I cheat. I'm a little rip receipts, yeah. When shopping LV, I got snakeskin on my feet. Slimy snakes with me. I got millions in my reach. Lots of chicks, getting blacks every time that I release. Talking money, no speech impediment when I speak. Bank account, every time I log in, I'm relieved. Large amounts, getting deposits on repeat.
Naney is the new White House press secretary, and she's a known liar. She would go on CNN on a regular basis to cover up for Donald Trump's foibles, for his mistakes, for his incompetence. And that's just her brand. That's the reason why she was eventually promoted to White House press secretary when Stephanie Grisham, who didn't do a single press conference, was pushed out of that position. Now, a reporter asked her during her first press conference today, Kayleigh McEnany's first press conference today, "Do you promise to never lie to us?" And Kayleigh McEnany said, "I promise that I will never lie to you." What was the point of that? Does anyone, is that all it takes? Do you really believe that she's going to tell you the truth right now?
Yeah, I know the point of it. It generated 1 billion tweets. Like, the whole takeaway from that first press briefing is she promised not to lie. And then I saw a tweet that was going all over the place, which was, you should know that behind the scenes, she's been saying she won't lie for a few days right now. She's really sticking to that. Okay?
Oh my God.
Who cares? Again, it's like I said on Wednesday, sometimes we're supposed to treat these people as if they are serious, but they are just dumb little babies. That's all they are. Like, if you want to know whether she's gonna lie, I got an idea. Don't ask if she's gonna lie. Ask her a serious question and evaluate her response. And lo and behold, she lied a ton.
Yeah, fact check her when she gives you answers defending Donald Trump. It's very easy. By the way, then she proceeded to lie to the American people, to the journalists at that press conference about Trump's statements regarding, the conspiracy theory that the coronavirus was a man-made virus in a Chinese lab. The intelligence community has debunked that. They released a statement on it saying that this is not created by a human. It is not genetically modified. And then Trump did his own little press pool where he told reporters that he's seen evidence that the virus comes from a lab in China, but refused to provide what that evidence is, arguing that it's classified. Again, we know that any type of classified information can easily be declassified by the President of the United States. And so he's continuing to spread this conspiracy theory. And what did Kayleigh McEnany do? Hold this press conference where she provided cover for his lies and his conspiracy theories. She's a liar. That's the reason why she was hired. If reporters don't realize that yet, then perhaps they should look into a different line of work.
It's such
no man, quick.
Fundamentally stupid from the floor to the ceiling. The only reason you know who she is because cable news bookers realized, oh, we can have her on to respond to whatever Trump did, and she's gonna, provide the right-wing perspective. And she proved over the course of the campaign that no matter what he does, no matter what she says, she will continue to support him and lie to cover him. That's it. That's her entire skill set. I mean, she defended him immediately following the, the Access Hollywood thing, which even some other people wouldn't. That was the loyalty test that she passed. And since then, she just lies. That's all she did. Just a few weeks ago, she said, before there were a lot of deaths from coronavirus, she said, you know what? Isn't it nice to know that with Donald Trump, coronavirus and diseases like it won't come to America? And now she's the spokesperson that's like fielding all of the coronavirus questions. She said she was asked by Chris Cuomo in August of 2019, has Donald Trump lied? And she said, no, he doesn't lie. Guess who lies? The press lies. I don't believe the president has lied. Like ever. He's never lied. He's literally lied, and it's been documented tens of thousands of times. He's lied more than you and I have spoken.
It's all water under the bridge, John, because she gave us that pinky promise today during her first press conference. So we must trust her. We must believe her.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat, emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive.
Chris Hayes was trending on social media today because he had the audacity to do his job and talk about the very real and credible sexual assault allegations against Joe Biden. Now, he had a reporter on from New York Magazine who had actually penned an op-ed about how Biden needs to address Tara Reade's accusations directly. And that led to an insane amount of backlash. So first, I want to show you what got people so upset. Here's one of the clips featuring Chris Hayes talking about the Tara Reade story.
also a new development in the story, and that is that Tara Reid's former neighbor at the time went on the record with her name telling Business Insider that in 1995 or 1996, a few years after this, that Reid told her she had been assaulted by Biden. NBC News reached out to Reid's neighbor, who later confirmed by text message the story. This on-the-record reporting from a neighbor, roughly contemporaneous relaying of the story, has rightly occasioned a new round of coverage and scrutiny, while also creating some serious tension within the progressive coalition.
So that was the first part of his segment, and then later he brought on someone from New York Magazine to share her thoughts. But Cenk, before we get to that clip, was there anything offensive there? I mean, Chris Hayes is not a Democratic operative. He's not a surrogate, as far as I know, for Joe Biden. He's supposed to be doing journalism for a news channel.
So everyone who wrote #Fire Chris Hayes is very similar to Donald Trump. They think that the press should be doing propaganda and not the news. And they're upset that MSNBC, for a couple of minutes, did not do wall-to-wall propaganda for the Democratic candidate. And they're like, how dare you? What did news break out at a news station? Unacceptable. No, you should fire that so-called journalist right away and make sure you replace him with a hack who will never, ever dare to disagree with Democratic leadership and the Democratic candidate. So if you're a part of that Fire Chris Hayes thing on Twitter, and that's so sad. I mean, if you're an apparatchik for the Democratic Party, I get it. You get paid to be that kind of a fill in the adjective, right? But if you're one of the suckers that goes along with that, and you're like really like, I don't want any news. I just want propaganda. Oh my God, you're just like Donald Trump, but from the other side. That's who you are. Live with it.
Well, some of those people we're going to talk about now. So I just want to give you some examples of the arguments they were making on Twitter using this hashtag. One person writes, just want to put this out there. I unfollowed Chris Hayes, and I'd love to see everyone else unfollow that MFer as well. So this person has a pretty, I wouldn't say big, but has a following on Twitter. And then there's one other person saying, oh, this is the Palmer report. Chris Hayes isn't facing backlash for talking about the Biden allegation. He's facing backlash because he falsely characterized the Biden allegation as credible and corroborated when the evidence overwhelmingly says the opposite. That's fascinating. So I would like to see that overwhelming evidence saying the opposite, because there has been corroborating evidence in the form of Tara Reid's next door neighbor from the 90s. Sharing that Tara Reid spoke to her in a detailed way about what happened between Tara Reid and Biden. The sexual assault, not just the sexual harassment, the sexual assault. That is considered corroborating evidence. If this was a criminal trial, that neighbor would be brought to testify to talk about what Tara Reid told her at that time. And by the way, this neighbor came forward on her own. She actually completely lost touch with Tara Reid in the early 2000s. So is that not corroborating evidence? I don't know. I mean, it seems like it is to me. And he has failed, Palmer report has failed to provide any actual evidence contrary to what Tara Reid has said.
If we had 4 corroborating witnesses in Kavanaugh, and we had Christine Blasey Ford's mom calling into a television station at the time saying about how she suffered a negative experience with this person, etc. If we had Christine Blasey Ford being taken off an assignment, she didn't obviously work with Kavanaugh, so it's obviously a different fact pattern. But if we had any of this, I guarantee you Palmer report and everybody else out there in the Democratic establishment, or the really, really sad people who just got brainwashed by the Democratic establishment or wanted desperately be in the Democratic establishment, if all those people would have said, yeah, of course, Kavanaugh's guilty. And by the way, they probably would have been right. But unlike us, they have no principles at all. So they say, well, if it's in the case of a Republican, then we believe the woman, and we don't want to even hear from the Republican. And progressives, even worse. Did somebody else say something that could be connected to a progressive that said eliminated? I don't even want to hear it, right? But you have this kind of corroboration for establishment Democrat. Nope, I don't see any evidence. I don't see it.
10 seconds left.
That's how they are, man. It's so sad. I don't know who Palmer Report is. I don't know who he reports on.
5 seconds
but Palmer, whoever you are, if you're not getting paid by the Democratic Party, man, I feel so sad for you. At least get paid for it.
No, and it's even worse than that because, like, wanting to silence journalists from doing their jobs is outrageous. That is outrageous, right? Trying to cover up sexual assault allegations against your preferred political candidate is one thing, right? I come to understand how politics works and how media is used as a tool to prop up certain candidates. But, like, to go after the message, to go after a reporter who actually is being principled and is reporting on this fairly, by the way, is outrageous. And I commend Chris Hayes for doing it because we both know what MSNBC is like. We know how MSNBC tried to censor you, James, in the past. And in this case, if they do end up firing Chris Hayes for doing his job appropriately, MSNBC should not have any credibility at all. That means that they'll stomp on any type of investigative reporting if it doesn't fit their political narrative. That's it.
Chris is just about the only guy left on the channel that has any credibility. And if they give into this, that would be so beyond outrageous that I couldn't believe it. But anyway, so look, in terms of the actual allegations, it is so hard to tell what's true and untrue many years later, decades later, in any of these cases. So, do I believe Christine Blasey Ford? Yes. So, when I look at Tara Reade, man, that's a lot of corroborating witnesses. It's so hard to know. It's so hard to know, and we've given you all the context in so many videos here. Is there another point of view? Of course there is. So she first reported a different kind of touching, and then she gave the most serious allegations very late in the process. And we can go on with other pieces of evidence, and we have at great length. So it's not an open and shut case. But if you say that a journalist shouldn't even talk about it, you're just an authoritarian, and you think you're on the left wing, but you're not. And you want to shut down any media that disagrees with you or even brings up a question that you don't like. And that's really sad. And if you think you're on the left, you're not.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis.
Show you a video that was apparently taken at one of the lockdown protests in Wisconsin. It's gone viral, and I think that as soon as you see it, you're going to understand why. Thanks, I hate it. It's terrible. It's just terrible.
Look, first of all, I live in a glass house on bad dancing. So, you know, it's not about the dancing. Who cares? Nobody cares. Have at it, Hoss. Do you, man. You know what? We didn't build this country so you couldn't have freedom, okay? It's your right as a good, God-fearing American to dance as awkwardly as you want. So to me, that's not the issue. To me, what I think makes it way funnier is, do you think any of those guys know who the Village People were and what happens at the YMCA?
Maybe they do. Maybe, against all odds, these are the most tolerant MAGA heads in the country. Maybe.
Yeah.
5 seconds to go.
They got together and they're like, guys, this is coronavirus. It's time to break all the rules, man. Should we sing a gay anthem for Trump? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go out there. YMCA. I'll see you at the YMCA.
It's raining bleach. Hallelujah. It's raining bleach. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to sing next.
Next thing you know, they're going to pull Bruno and confuse Ron Paul for RuPaul. And be huge RuPaul advocates.
Jeez.
Anything is possible. Hey, look, if MAGA is becoming more tolerant, I'm all for it. I'm here for it. So the more they sing YMCA, etc., the better. God bless.
Yeah, one question for you. You know, I've started to wonder if these awkward dances can survive in a time where people have video cameras on them at all times. It doesn't seem to be stopping yet, but we've talked in recent months about a few. You know, the Pete Buttigieg dance of the organizer teaching Buttigieg heads how to do the dance. That was a little bit awkward. How would you rate the two? Which one do you think was more cringeworthy?
Yeah, no, look, I didn't even think that, like, the Buttigieg story was a story. I didn't cover it. Like, people want to awkwardly dance. Have at it. So this one is worse. One, yes, I guess they were more awkward than even the Buttigieg dance. But I might be able to break that record if you saw me dancing. But to me, the YMCA part is the really hilarious part.
Yeah,
it's like and mainly because I'm sure they have no idea. Like, when they watch this video later, like, hey, you were on the Young Turks, and they're like, oh, let me check that out. I hate those guys. 2016 election, I remember that. Oh, that was awesome. Let me go check it out. Oh, no. You guys know? And then one guy eventually would be like, now we were singing YMCA sarcastically. Just like, you know, everything sarcastic.
The thing is, like, we're in a culture where people love to listen to music. I've never been a fan of it, but it is very popular. But nobody seems to actually listen to songs. Like, you've probably seen at these Trump rallies, they play Born in the USA all the time, apparently not understanding one iota of what that song is actually meant to communicate, the experience that it's talking about. But that's what they do, and especially on the right, I mean, the pattern basically is, at these rallies, these politicians and ads, they use a song. The artist, who almost universally is not a conservative and hates their work being tied in with conservatives, ask them to stop, and then they just go on doing it anyway. Because they say that they hate artists and art and that sort of waste of your time and Hollywood and all of that, but they so desperately want to use it, they want to be a part of it even though they don't understand it.
Yeah, of course. I bet they would introduce a Republican that was in front of the bank bailouts with a Bruce Springsteen song, My Hometown, about how, in his last album, about how they destroyed his hometown, the bankers destroyed his hometown. They'd have no sense of irony at all.
No.
Like, but look, if you're just left with conservative singers, you've got like 2 or 3 options, and one of them is Ted Nugent, and then when they went down that road, Nugent and Huckabee basically played a song on Fox News about how Nugent wants to have sex with the underage daughter of his neighbor. And it got awkward real quick. It made YMCA look like it was the most politically correct thing that they've ever done.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. I really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships.
So we've known for some time that people's stimulus checks were going to be delayed because not Donald Trump, he doesn't have anything to do with it, but somebody wanted to put his signature on it, delaying them from being sent out. Well, you might have known at the time that if you had direct deposit, obviously you're not going to have a physical check, so you can't get a signature, right? No, wrong. He's got something for that too. Let's bring up this first graphic. You're going to see a letter that has been going out to tons of Americans. We had multiple people at TYT posting this on our company Slack earlier today. So even if you didn't get the physical check, you did get a physical letter. And as you might have noticed at the bottom, that like screen grab from a Richter scale, that's Donald Trump's signature, which means that the guy that had nothing to do with it when reporters asked, he didn't have it, it wasn't his idea, he didn't want to delay it. He did find time to write wholly unnecessary but expensive letters to send out to literally millions or tens of millions of Americans.
And he did find the taxpayer money to send that out with. So you and I just paid for that letter. That's really a campaign letter for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Reminding people that he's president. We kind of knew that already. And I wonder if he's also going to be sending out a letter about his incompetence over the last 3 months and how he didn't order any tests or protective equipment. I wonder if that letter's coming next, because he was also president during that action. but perhaps not. And by the way, I hope he didn't use the post office for this because I know he's very against the post office.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want sending it. I mean, the letters will never get here, right? According to him.
We were going to help the post office, but we spent all the money on my letters. So he wants credit for this, obviously. He denied knowledge of it, but that was obviously BS. It was definitely his idea. He's been pushing it through in everywhere that he can, even if it means that the checks are delayed, and for many people, they have been very, very much delayed. People who desperately need that help have needed it for some time, and definitely with rent coming up in the next few days, will need it again. So now, the response, which comes in at least two very different forms. So the first, from the Democrats, we have Chuck Schumer, who he's got a piece of legislation to try to stop what we just showed you. So the No PR Act puts an end to the president's exploitation of taxpayer money, there's a quote from Senator Chuck Schumer, for promotional material that only benefits his re-election campaign. Delaying the release of stimulus checks so his signature could be added is a waste of time and money. Now, I know that many people greeted the announcement of this bill as a waste of time and money. If this is going to be your only response, I find that to be incredibly frustrating because we've been advocating as hard as we can for far more effort to be put into actually helping out the people who are suffering most during this pandemic. If it's one and done, if they can quickly pass it, which they definitely can't, then it'd be perfectly fine to stop Trump from, spreading his propaganda at our expense, I think.
Yeah, so when you put a specific title on a bill like that, it is for marketing purposes. So if it's a title that just runs on and is not an acronym of any sort, that's a normal title. And I don't have any problem with people putting on specific titles for marketing purposes. Like Bernie Sanders, for example, with Ro Khanna, had an acronym that spelled out something like Stop Bezos Act to get higher wages for Amazon workers. And it totally worked. Nothing wrong with it. But you can't claim that it's the No PR Act when you're doing PR in the title.
Yeah. It's not the No Irony Act, Jank. So that's what Chuck Schumer's doing today. Others in the Democratic Party are worried a little bit less with the annoying propaganda being added to the stimulus checks, and more with the fact that those checks weren't enough by themselves, and it's been literally weeks since that legislation was passed, and there doesn't really seem to be anything following it up to help out the people who were justifiably in a horrible economic situation because so many millions of Americans have lost their jobs during this issue. Well, now we've got another rent day coming up, and there's been no additional aid going out. Doesn't seem possible that it could by the time so many Americans have to pay their rent. And so they are advocating for a substantive response, substantive solutions to these people's problems. And we have several examples of that. The first is from Representative AOC, who tweeted, "I want everyone to know that the White House, Mnuchin, McConnell, and Congress know that there is a housing crisis looming due to inaction on rent and mortgage relief. If we don't act ASAP, millions could face foreclosure and eviction. Dems have plans to stop it. It's being blocked."
Okay. I don't really believe Democratic leadership. I believe AOC and the progressives, and I think that they are. The reason she's making that public statement is not to put pressure on the Republicans, it's to put pressure on Democratic leadership. Because it's one thing to have a plan, it's another thing to fight for. I'll believe that when I see it. But we've got more.
Exactly. And so, it's not just politicians that are trying to rally people to respond to the crushing economic burden that continuing to pay rent when you've lost all your savings and you don't have a job. So we have an organization working in New York. At least 400 families who live in buildings, each containing over 1,500 rent units, are coordinating building-wide rent strikes, according to the campaign coordinator for Housing Justice for All, a New York-based coalition of tenants and housing activists. Additionally, over 5,000 people have committed through an online pledge to refuse to pay rent in May, as of this morning, at the very least. And so these people are organizing to say that they are not going to pay their rent. And you have some politicians who are trying to help them out. For instance, Representative Ilhan Omar, she unveiled her Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act, a bill to institute a nationwide cancellation of rents and home mortgage payments through the duration of the coronavirus pandemic.
I actually think the best plan was the one that a comic came up with, Vic DiBenedetto. So he is a comedian in New York. He did an angry rant. You can see Vic on Old School tomorrow. Okay, so make sure you're watching that. The first part of it will be right here on youtube.com/TYT. Main show now starts at 5:30 with interviews, and then 6 o'clock Eastern is the Young Turks. And on Tuesdays, right after the main show, you've got Old School, and Vic's going to be on with us. He did an interview earlier today, and tomorrow it's All School. But no kidding around. His idea in the middle of this raging rant that he did that went absolutely viral and got tens of millions of views was his idea that, hey, why don't, instead of doing nothing or canceling the rent or mortgage, why don't you just, if you have a mortgage, for example, the banks will take the 3 months that you owe during coronavirus. Right now, the current plan is in the 4th month, you have to pay all 4 months. But as Vic was pointing out, angrily but correctly, people don't have that money. That's why they didn't pay the first 3 months. It's not like magically they're going to have 4 months of rent when it comes due. No, take those 3 months of mortgage, for example, and put it at the end of your mortgage so that you still pay it, you extend it, but you don't have to pay it right now. Well, the banks don't want to do that because they lose a little bit of money. Not their principal, not the money overall, but they lose interest and they lose other things. So, I mean, the banks won't take 1 cent off your bill, right? So what you need is legislators to fight forcefully for that idea, which is now what progressives are doing, and Omar's going even further than that. But the real question is Democratic leadership going to stick up for the average American? And John, they said, oh yeah, we did a little bit of the $1,200 check. Democrats fought for that. But the lion's share of that, basically $6 trillion stimulus bill, went to giant corporations. Yeah. And then they did some for small business, which is great. And actual Americans come dead last. And they said that's going to be the 4th stimulus bill. They've done 3 so far. Now, you want to bet to see if the Democrats can fight and win against the Republicans on helping the average American?
10 seconds.
I've bet any money I have that they fail, and it's because they're not going to fight that.
I got a bit of a preview earlier today. I saw a clip of Nancy Pelosi being asked about some sort of ongoing UBI, and she seemed terrified to talk about it. Like she said, is that something that maybe we should consider? Well, yeah, a lot of people talking about it, maybe at some point, maybe something, I don't know exactly what form, but no, maybe at some point, something like that might be something that we should talk. Get her off the air. Put on AOC, put on Rashida Tlaib, put on Anna Presley, put on Ilhan Omar. All of them are far better advocates for both the values and the policies that should underlie and represent the Democratic response to coronavirus and the economic collapse that it has precipitated. And we don't have that. We have effectively people that are just bodies wasting time and space and giving Donald Trump and the Republicans all the time they need to formulate some sort of way to distract people from their own failings of the last few months.
When a corporate Democrat says we'll begin to consider that, that means there's no way we're going to do it. We might come back to a 30.
Recharge ready. My device is ready.
Loading mag.
Friendly, last operator standing. The diffuser has been secured. Op 4 eliminated all friendlies. Protect the bombs.
Time to armor up.
Bomb location compromised. Plan accordingly. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds and counting. Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Lay the nest! Blowing charge! Beauty in place. Detonating charge! Watch yourself!
One friendly remaining. A bomb has been located by Op 4. All friendlies were eliminated. Mission failure.
Comí el atún.